And I did quickly check, because we do have the technology, the series, the history between these two players in the year of 2020. It's pretty one-sided. Trap has won 10 out of 12 best ofs between the two of them.
10 out of 12?
Yeah.
10 out of 12?
Trap has won 10 and Zest has won 2.
All right, well, my impressions are way off then.
Like, it's not like it's like completely like one-sided stomps. Like, Zest obviously makes him work for it, but yeah, Trap, he's on point with his PvP, at least against Zest in the year of 2020.
But you know what? We're at the end of 2020.
Mm.
We're about to get into 2020 part 22.
4?
That's double.
That is. And again, Zest, like, it's not completely one-sided. It wasn't like Zest rolled over and hasn't won a series. He has taken games, he has taken series. This isn't completely in Trap's favor, but, you know, Zest is coming into this with a little bit of a disadvantage. You know, he's got to make a name for himself here. He's got to prove himself in this PvP.
But I tell you one disadvantage Zest doesn't have, though. He was able to watch the series against Armani.
True. That's going to help
Not
out.
sure how relevant that is in a different matchup, but you know, is at least able to get an idea of what Trap's form is like, what his scouting patterns are like. But anyway, we are now here on Death Aura LE for our grand finals. What a way to wrap things off. But a PvP here in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way to the top left-hand corner. The blue Protoss player, currently teamless, representing himself. We have Trap.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is Zest.
I'm getting a couple of deja vu vibes coming up here late. And I gotta ask you, was it a game that we casted where one player walled off and where one Protoss player walled in the main and the other in the natural, or was that when 4 of us were messing around in Archon mode? I don't quite remember.
That did happen. And we pointed it out. We were like, what is happening? I don't know if it was I don't think it was between these two players. But I do recall that. Yeah.
I think maybe Zest might have been involved. Oh wait, was it a patience game?
It may have been a patience game.
It sounds like a patience game. Now that I think about it.
Oh god. All right, and we'll see how we go here. Of course, shout out to Gemini. Of course, he is Trap's #1 fanboy in the chat. Gonna be cheering for Zest, of course. With we got a bit of a proxy.
Naturally. Oh, okay. As prime position for a Stargate, I would imagine. Maybe ignoring a lot of ground there, making use of that very close by dead space.
Yeah, and regardless, like, Trap, he's across the map with his probe. He sees that there is a pylon missing. It must be out on the map somewhere. So he should be diligent with his scouting. And it looks like he's going to run into this.
Just like so, not being distracted at all by the probe of Zest he saw. Goes right in, gets a good eye on that Stargate.
Wow, he immediately spots it. He doesn't even attack it to let Zest know that he knows that it's on the way. We'll see if Zest is able to find some damage here with this, despite being scouted. Oh my.
Well, immediately he's coming up with a contingency.
Yeah, this pylon is kind of curious. Again, Zest, he's still in one base, like, he hasn't expanded.
Yeah, how all in is Zest gonna be here? I feel like at a certain point you want to give up on the proxy, but nope, Zest says otherwise.
Yeah.
2 gates.
Mate, you scout my proxy, I'ma just commit. I'ma double down with this, and Zest, he wants to try and end the game early here. Meanwhile, Trap, he right now, this is his application for Shield to try and join stats there as the Shield of Ire. Can he do it? Can he hold?
Yeah, not getting any shield batteries so far, but honestly, just about might not need it. Zest is getting a lot of production out, but I'm not entirely convinced that he'll have the actual resources to make use of it.
I mean, honestly, like, Trap is walled off right now. Like, he can't, like, he's gonna lose the cyber. Like, it's very close to going down. There's no shield battery to recharge the shield, so, I mean, he's gonna be limited to only Zealots to warp in.
Yeah, for quite some time, honestly. Trap.
Oh my god.
Not remaking that cyber just yet. He is very confident in these 3 stalkers,
Yeah,
I gotta say.
overly confident, that's it.
GG, Zest takes game number 1. Showing that as long as you commit, you can something.
Yeah, like, as soon as you pointed out, like, that Trap doesn't have a shield battery, I was like, hold on a minute. I was like, hold on a second, this isn't lining up quite right. To be fair, because Trap walled himself in, I don't think he really had vision to see that Zest, you know, whether or not he was expanding behind this and how all in he was.
Yeah, I think that was probably the major factor going on there. And Trap, I will say that Zest did a fantastic job of bamboozling Trap there as well.
Yeah.
He completely scouted the Stargate, and Trap, he has been known to cut corners to, you know, just make sure that he can get into the mid-game without sacrificing too much of his economy. He was prepared very well against Oracles or even potentially a Void Ray. At the bare minimum stalkers he needed.
Yeah,
did not expect the gateway follow-up.
Yeah, the one shield battery that he had was in the main mirror line. Like, that's, yeah, he was ready for that. He was not ready for the mass gateway units. Oh my.
And now is he going to be ready here on Pillars of Gold? LE, holding up the rest of the current map pool. Where in the bottom left-hand corner map, sweating all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Protoss player coming down from Korea. He is still going to be representing himself, so, you know, any team owners out there, you know, give him a phone call. We have the wing commander himself. He is Trap.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Pillars of Gold, LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss. He is currently representing Raise Your Edge Gaming and up 1-0 in this best of 5 finals. It is Zest.
All right, Trap. You gotta imagine he's got a thirst for vengeance coming out now.
Yeah, I imagine so. Like, I love the support in the chat right now. Like, Gemini is like, "Yo, Trap rhymes with Zap, mate. We gotta remind the people. Zest is best, mate." My hands are in the air right now.
That's what I was waiting for. I thought, mate, you had to make that a little bit more hype there.
Oh god.
But then counterpoint. What if you go beyond best?
Oh, what's beyond best?
Maru.
God damn it. God damn it, Yaku. Oh god. But yeah, that was a really awkward game number 1. But we're having none of that here in game 2.
Awkward but entertaining.
Yeah. As Zest, he is going for the expand. Like, he's, you know, he's not going for any proxy shenanigans anywhere near as much as you did in game number 1.
Yeah, even being pretty diligent with scouting as well, just seeing what Trap has in store. Trap actually, okay, we'll see if he does commit to this robo or if he fix it out and goes for a cancel.
I love this. I mean, I very rarely get to see proxy robo in PvP anymore, and he just threw it down in the face of Zest.
Yeah, that's a ballsy maneuver if I have ever seen one. Zest, he's still following this probe. He wants to make sure that, you know, it's not going to be a fake out or anything. Trap really wants this robo facility to come up.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's the purpose of the second pylon, because this was scouted early. He wants to make sure it doesn't get depowered or anything crazy like that. And this is like a power move right now, because again, like, Zest saw at the moment that it was thrown down, and we'll see how good the defense of Zest is going to be. I mean, this time, you know, he's got a shield battery at his natural.
Yeah. And I will say that a proxy robo facility is not entirely reliant on the surprise factor, right? Like something like, say, Dark Shrine is. It's still, you know, Immortals are still very beefy units that absolutely pack a punch, especially in the early game of a PvP, where you're mostly going to be relying on Stalkers here. So it's still a pretty good idea for Trap to be able to get those Immortals out and into the front lines as quick as he can. I do like that Zest is going for the Stargate as a bit of a follow-up or as a response. Haven't seen this in quite some time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, it's gonna work wonders in the defense, as we do see immediately Trap is trying to push up the ramp. Overcharge is used.
Immediately getting forced here. Trap is starting to set up a bit of a fort position. Starts with a gateway just to be able to, reinforce this quickly, get more and more warp ins.
Oh boy.
Should be seeing some shield batteries thrown out as well, especially when this Void Ray pops out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned that Overcharge was used a little bit early, but there's still plenty more shield batteries on the way. Again, as you said, I love the way he's incorporating Void Rays in this defense as well. And Trap, he's continuing to commit to this.
Inching his way closer. The last thing you want to do right now if you're in Trap's shoes is to overextend up a ramp into 3 shield batteries and a couple of Void Rays and Stalkers. So he's just waiting to really secure his foothold here, get a couple of shield batteries out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, the shield battery is definitely going to help support his units as they try and push up this ramp. So far, the sentry does hold strong.
And it still survives, using up all of the shield battery energy, though. And again, without a Nexus there's no overcharge available for Trap. Zest is pretty hard getting contained, but on the plus side for him, Trap is still on 1 base.
Yeah, exactly. Like, again, Trap, he's looking to end the game here with this army. Meanwhile, 3 more shield batteries on the way for Zest. As long as he doesn't take an engagement, like, outside of range of his defensive structures, like, he should be okay.
And Battery Overcharge came off cooldown. Doesn't quite have the energy on that Nexus to utilize it yet, but it's still going to be available for him.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing to point out is that only 1 Immortal has been made for Trap. Like, this is kind of the backbone of his army, and he's only got 1 of them, and he has to be so careful with it, already at half health.
Yeah, and to be fair, Trap has a lot of Stalkers right now, which are ideal. Very ideal. They don't do quite as much damage against armor that Void Rays do, but they do the fact that they have projectile damage instead of beam damage just means that they can just, fire off their quick volleys.
Oh yeah, like, they're almost enough to, like, one-shot Void Rays if they are all in range. At least 2-shot with the way he's pushing up the ramp. So again, that goes to show how careful Zest has to be.
How careful Trap really has to be right now. He is tenacious, to say the least. Now he's starting to move his way up onto the ramp, right on top of all these Void Rays. He has enough to 2-shot them, though. Battery Overcharge not doing much to save those Void Rays. Yeah, but has Trap lost just too many Stalkers here? Definitely, he's already lost his Immortal. Yeah,
the Immortal went down. Like, it was really nicely done, like, diving in and sniping as many Void Rays as he did. But at the end of the day, like, was it too many losses that he sustained? Again, he is on just 1 base economy. There's still so many shield batteries.
And the further this game goes on, the worse and worse it's going to get for Trap.
Oh, he's diving on them.
Possessed either, does dive and manages to take out 1 of the Void Rays, but another one pops up just to replace it. There are plenty of shield batteries over here, keeping them alive. The Zealots here, tanking so many Stalker shots.
Yeah, exactly, but now he's moving out of range of the shield batteries.
He is starting to move out of range, and that was very badly miscalculated there for Zest. He thought that Trap just didn't have enough Stalkers there to one-shot, and sure, if that was a fully healed up Void Ray, it wouldn't have been enough, but it wasn't. It was a Void Ray that was very badly bruised.
Oof, yeah, definitely. So he did lose 1 Void Ray. He only has 1 remaining in this defense. We'll see if that's going to be enough here if Trap goes up the ramp once again.
Yeah, trying to make his Void Rays. Zest did get a scout up on Trap, if I'm not mistaken there, so he confirms that Trap is very all in. Zest knows that he only needs to defend.
He's actually denying the natural. Like, it looks like Trap keeps going down to throw down a Nexus, and then Zest is there to stop it. Or maybe he's trying to fake him out. It's hard to say. Regardless, there's like a bit of a dance with probes down there.
Oh, you gotta be so careful, Zest. You're almost getting a Void Race 1-shot, or 2-shot, rather.
Oh my god, yeah, and he's just trying to edge out as many. Oh, nice force fields.
Beautifully done. Something you can really take advantage of without Blink. GG is called. Zest taking himself a match point. Trap getting a little bit blinded by his bloodlust there.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he was a little bit flustered after game one, and he's like, no, like, how dare you do something like that to me? I'm gonna turn on the aggression. I'm gonna try and flip the tables on you. But Zest, his defense was on point. It's something that we don't really know him for. That's more of a stats thing, but regardless, like, he was still solid.
Yeah, and there were definitely points there from Zest's play where you can sort of tell that, he's not used to playing against getting proxied like that. He's usually the one who does do the proxies. But even still, he fully understood exactly what he needed to make sure his defense was as tight as he could possibly make it.
Yeah,
shield batteries and a couple of zealots to tank.
Yeah, to be fair, like, he did overextend a little bit, and I think Trap, he did take a couple of nice opportunities where he was able to dive in and almost reset the Void Ray count, but it just barely wasn't enough each time.
That it was not. Plus, that natural denial over and over again. Muy bien. But we're now here on Submarine LE, the LE submarine of which we all live in, but some of us thrive. Here in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. This is his last hope. He needs to win this game to even have a chance of turning things around. Otherwise, he's out. He is out. Although he still gets a bit of a payoff. We have, representing himself as he is currently teamless, Trap.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Submarine LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Raise Your Edge Gaming. It is Zest.
And now that we're on Submarine, there are two ways to really look at it. It's all about perspective. Either we're guaranteed no proxies, or no matter what the players do, it's still a proxy.
So yeah, okay. It's
no matter where they built their production, yeah.
Yeah. That's typically how Submarine goes. Also, I'd like to remind the chat and everyone watching at home, ! Funara Dastan. Dastan SC. Dastan just woke up. He is our resident Chilean GM, ex-GM, I guess. He's been busy playing Apex recently. God damn it, Dastan. But we love you, and good morning as well. Good morning in the land of Chile.
Buenos.
Doses?
Yeah.
There you go.
Como casting de la azul. Trap. I don't know.
I thought you were gonna go like como casting de la cruz. Like, all right. Acampado. Caviar. Silencio. There we go. Oh god. As we are slowly getting into this PvP, so far no one taking an early natural, as Zest did in the previous game.
Yeah, the most standard game that we're getting so far in the series. Both players walling off in their high ground. To be fair, Submarine doesn't exactly have that entrance into natural isn't exactly tight enough to wall off in the low ground, but Yeah. The players just doing PvP things.
I mean, there's no reason to risk it on Submarine, right? Like, because of how aggressive you can be, going for an early natural is almost suicide or just so risky. It's something that someone like Patience would do. Which is why we don't see that here.
Yeah. We're not casting Patience right now.
I miss Patience. I miss casting Patience.
It's been a week.
It's been a week. It's been
only a week and we already miss him.
Feels bad, man. But we do see that both players are looking to expand. There is a bit of a proxy pylon out here from
is that Traps, or is that is Traps? Okay. So not gonna be a spotter. Well, I guess it could still fulfill the role of a spotter. Just checking when Zest gets the start base.
Yeah.
But it's already getting denied.
Yeah, like if it was hidden, then it would have been a cheeky reinforcement point as well to apply pressure to that third base location, or to just go across the map. As we do see Trap is going across with his stalkers.
Yeah, both players just trying to establish map control on Submarine. Once you're able to establish map control, you essentially took over the entire map on Submarine.
Pretty much, as we do see Zest is the first player to get into his +1 and Blink. Meanwhile, ooh, Trap did sneak into the natural.
Yeah, getting a couple of probe kills here. With his adepts, should be chased away, just like so. Trap only now throwing down his forge. Zest's gonna have quite the leg up here when it comes to his push.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like +1 is already on the way, and as you said, the forge is still in production for Trap, so there will be this window of opportunity where Zest Stalkers are going to be miles ahead compared to Traps. So we'll see if he can utilize that, if he can utilize that window.
But counterpoint here, like battery overcharge.
True. It's pretty good. Zest does not have one.
To explain that point, yeah. He does not. Use all his energy on Chrono Boost, and also he doesn't have shield batteries.
That he did, but again, like eventually Trap is working towards that, so if that window goes by and it closes, well then, you know, it will be kind of equal footing between the two players.
Yeah. It opens up once again.
That it does.
That window.
It opens and closes.
Just like my neighbors.
Goddamn neighbor. You know what? They haven't been too bad recently. They haven't been too bad.
They haven't because, yeah, they actually really haven't.
Yeah, like they haven't because they moved out. It's like, oh.
I was actually gonna say that the noisiest kid actually moved out. The family did. That had the noisiest kid. But you know what? The Uwu birds are starting to take their place. Trap going for glaives.
Oh my, okay. Trap completely switching things up here. Quite interesting, especially because he did commit to Blink first, so, you know, he still has his Blink Stalkers to go toe-to-toe with Zest, but he does have that sneaky tech. Oh, never mind, he cancelled it.
Well, I was imagining a whole scenario and entire strategy here where it's like, all right, Trap, he's going to be, you know, going toe-to-toe with Zest over here, utilizing his shield batteries, and then sneaking a couple of adepts into the main. But yeah, not quite gonna be it. I do like the inclusion of the Haluked, Colossus here.
Yeah, I love it.
Can't really take that much damage, but honestly, it does provide a little bit of high ground vision at the very least. Trap's starting to lose a couple of his probes elsewhere to harass.
That he is, as there are a couple of adepts in the natural of Trap, and meanwhile, oh, he blinks on top of the Immortal.
Yeah, the Immortal does get taken out, but Trap has a very healthy soccer count over here. Doesn't even need the shield batteries. The Nexus is still alive.
Wow.
I like this cheeky placement of the Warp Prism here by Zest, making sure that the Stalkers aren't able to shoot at it. It's really just there for micro potential and juggling. But it also meant that he couldn't warp anything in, right? He couldn't reinforce that point.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's going to have to deal with his counterattack.
Yeah, exactly. Like, would you see Trap going across the map to deny a third base if Zest was looking to go for one? Meanwhile, I'm so surprised that Trap was able to hold on to this third Nexus. Like, it should have gone down, but Trap was barely able to hold on to it. But at the cost of, what was that, 15 probes going down to those adepts?
Yeah, so overall, I mean, not quite the damage Zest wanted to get done, but comparable damage.
Yeah, definitely. So even though Zest Nexus will be quite delayed in comparison to Trap, like Trap, he lost a lot of workers, so he has to catch up, so it kind of evens out. I will say that Trap still has a slight advantage here.
Yeah, Trap is already caught up, which is why, again, taking out the Nexus is a lot more preferable than taking out the probes there.
Definitely.
There's 3 probes and Chrono Boost, or 3 Nexuses, sorry, and Chrono Boost. Trap has already overtaken Zest when it comes to the worker count.
Yeah, he has caught up and overtaken quite nicely. Meanwhile, ooh, a nice hallucinated Phoenix there by Trap is able to catch the main army.
And with that, Zest has got to be a lot more careful of how he engages. Sending out a couple of Halukes just to get eyes on top of his army from Trap, making sure he knows exactly where he wants to push in from. But the question is, does he still want to push? I mean, he's kind of lost his leverage. He's lost his Warp Prism.
Oh, that's it. No more reinforcements across the map now. Zest, he is stuck with this army here. To be fair, he can warp in, you know, back at home and waddle across. You know, Submarine isn't too large to be able to pull something like that off.
Yeah, but even still, He wants to make sure that he's got every single one of his units on the front lines, fighting where they need to. Trap starting to sandwich this Stalker force coming up from Zest, but Zest pulling a little bit of a switcheroo. But Trap pulling another switcheroo. The layers to the flanking here. Zest already losing one of his immortals. The other one is not too badly bruised, but it won't have any immortal shell. Just like that, it gets taken out, and Trap, he's going to be taking a pretty massive advantage here in this engagement. But, oh, look at these Stalker count, though.
Exactly, the Warp Winds come in from Zest, and even though he lost all his Immortals, he's got plenty of Stalkers. He has his Warp Prism. He ends up overwhelming the Immortals of Trap, but Trap himself, he also warps in. It's so close. It looks like with the charge lots, maybe Trap has enough.
Man, if this was slow Zealots, it would have done nothing. But the charge is really saving Trap right now. Zest warping in quite a number more of these Stalkers, though. And whose Warp Prism got taken out? I think that was Trap's.
It was. Trap's Warp Prism did go down, and it had a couple of units in it as well. Zest, he has his reinforcing Warp Prism now across the map as well, looking to continue to apply pressure. And if he hits the third, it's still hurt from the previous attack.
But here's the question. Do you need a Warp Prism if you're warping in defensively?
Exactly, that is the question. And I mean, both players, they still are relatively equal in terms of the upgrades, and Trap, he does have the defender's advantage. He has a shield battery, he has the immortal.
And Zest is being very conservative with his engagements here, just chipping away at the shields of that Nexus, and then, you know, blinking away. And as time goes on, this is only going to favor Trap more and more. I mean, Zest did manage to get his third base up and running, but he's not even saturating it.
Oh my God.
Trap is moving on to his next phase of tech. Battery overcharge being popped.
Yeah, it does get popped, but not fast enough, as the immortal was sniped on the side of Trap, so now he only has gateway units here to defend.
Zest now moving away. Trap has caught up on the army count. Did remake that immortal and has a couple of charges here to take some damage.
That he does, and Zest, like, he's still here, like, he's trying to find a way in, trying to either catch the army out of position or maybe even head towards that third base and finish it off.
And Trap is not making it easy on him whatsoever, rotating between his third and his natural position without much difficulty, really. A very mobile force here from Trap.
Yeah, but as you said, like, it's just pure Stalker from Zest. Like, it feels like Trap is getting a little bit more of a technical army with these immortals and charge slots.
Yeah, Zest's best chance right now, or at least what his strategy seems like, is to just continue warping more and more Stalkers and overwhelm the more technical army here from Trap. But again, that can only last for so long. Trap is going to get more and more immortals. It becomes harder and harder for Zest to be able to snipe them out. And it could just come down to this. Zest has lost his Warp Prism. He cannot sustain this fight.
Exactly. Trap pushes him away with these charge lots and Archons and Immortals. But, I mean, he is down in terms of the Stalkers, and Zest, he's slowly chipping away at this army as he retreats.
Yeah, trying to warp him back at home. But I do not quite favor his prospects, at least not right now.
Yeah,
We'll see if he can defend. Forced to recall. And you know what I'm smelling here, Light? It smells like a reverse sweep.
I love how your mic actually picked up the sniff as well.
That was actually me sniffling.
It worked out.
I couldn't reach the tissue in time.
I mean, we could very well see it again. Like, Trap, he has teched up, he has the superior overall army. Zest, like, there's still a lot of potential with these Stalkers, and like the army supply is quite even. But again, like, as long as Trap doesn't have a couple of units like misrallied or out of position, like now, like, oh my God.
Like now. And that was actually massive here. Zest being able to take out that Warp Prism right as it came out, forces Trap to go back home. He knows that he doesn't want to, you know, underestimate Defender's advantage, and this buys Zest quite a lot of time. How is he utilizing that time, though? Just by getting more and more Stalkers.
He's committed to the mass Stalker. Like, it's weird because he has a robot. Like, if he wanted to, he could get, like, squeeze out a couple of Immortals. But at the same time, like, is a little bit too late for that, like, because of the charge slots, and the Archons as well. It's hard to say, Zest. He's just committed to this composition.
How's this gonna go? What, you can't just pretend that the game is a mono battle and keep pumping out one single unit?
I mean, that's
saying Stalker printer. going burr.
It's going burr, but the problem is that the printer is gonna be outdated in a moment because we do have +2 on the way for Trap.
Yeah, and Zest not even bothering to go into that. Still sticking as +1 for a long time. Trap doesn't even need to make these Immortals doesn't even need to make any of these Immortals or Archons at that point.
Exactly.
He needs to make sure he's on equal stalker counts.
Yeah, as long as his army supply is relatively even, like, he will have that upgrade advantage, and by proxy, he'll just, you know, he should be favored in every single engagement. We'll see once again, like, it's on Zest, like, try and find an opening here and there, like, he's able to at least contain his opponent to 3 bases, but it's not like he's expanding to take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
Oh.
Did somebody like hook up chip into his Zest brain that will explode if he gets a 4th? Alright, this is a beautiful engagement by Zest. Flanking from both angles, taking out 2 Immortals right off the bat. But Trap still has 2 more where that came from. +2 did finish up for him. And again, this is going to be so much harder for Zest to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what I will say is that Trap is skimping out a little bit on shield batteries. He only has 1 at each base. Maybe that's enough. A couple of Immortals are a little bit exposed. Oh my god.
And immediately he's going to blink right on top of him. Zest is, but I feel like feared at this too much. The Archons really utilizing their splash. And +2 really showing what can get done.
Yeah, exactly. As we were saying, like, if each Immortal goes down, doesn't even matter that much because the Stalkers of Trap are just so much better than those of Zest.
Yeah, Zest took a little bit of an early lead there just because of the positioning, but now Trap, he's got rallied his reinforcements. We should be seeing GG just about now. GG is called. Trap fighting back, taking game number 3 of this best of 5.
GG, and we will see if your nose was correct there. Are we smelling a reverse sweep? Trap, he started it.
He did. And now it's on him to continue. I'm trying to think of an analogy here. Or not really an analogy, just a dumb pun. He's gonna vacuum seal it.
What? Okay.
Oh, so
I get what you're going for. I get it, but
I was gonna say, can we call the opposite of a reverse sweep a vacuum seal? But then I realized that the opposite of a reverse sweep is just a sweep.
It is. God damn it, Yaku. Oh,
all right,
god.
But moving forward, no longer are we gonna be on Submarine, an odd map that produces some odd games. Even when our players decide to play standard, Submarine just doesn't allow it. It submerges.
That it does, but we have emerged from said submarine, and now we are here in Oxide.
LE, the opposite of Submarine. Both literally, because you know, the maps are very different, and also in their name. I don't think there's a lot of oxygen in submarines. Well, there actually is. Anyway, here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Protoss player coming out from South Korea, currently teamless. He is representing himself, and he's already got himself the first start of his reverse sweep. Let's see him bring it all the way home, or potentially not. We have Trap.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Raise Your Edge Gaming, and currently up 2-1 in this best of 5 finals. It is Zest.
And I guess the question here, Light, is it telling at all that the 2 games that Zest won were by proxies? One from him doing a proxy and the other from him defending. Is that telling at all?
It could be. It could be. I mean, to be fair, like, that's also kind of standard PvP. Like, it's something that we see a lot in this matchup, so I don't even know if we're going to see a more, like, macro-oriented PvP. Like, are we going to see, like, Blinkstalker Disruptor against Blinkstalker Disruptor, or, like, Charged Out Archon compositions? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, even our most standard PvP we've had so far is been a little odd to say the least.
Yeah, it was Zest just all in with like Master Blink Stalker, just mono battling it up, right? You know, just trying to end the game, and yeah, we'll see if we get.
The printer ran out of toner.
It did, and that's always the case. They always get you with that toner.
But yeah, we will see how Oxide changes things up here. Is I don't know. I don't want to call it a standard map whatsoever, but we do see quite a number of macro. I was gonna say we do see quite a number of macro games, but both of our players opting not to.
Oh my god, someone insert Spider-Man meme here as they are both... First off, they both pylon blocked each other to deny each other's expansion, and then they both go into proxy stargates.
And look at that latitude on the mini-map.
Oh my god, it's just perfectly in sync, and we'll see, because as you were saying, when it comes to the games that have had proxies in them, like Zest has come out on top. Like this could be where he thrives. Regardless, they are both going for different avenues of attack here.
Interesting. All right, so Trap really dedicating more to the worker harass here with that single oracle. He's not all in with this proxy, whereas Zest getting some gateways done there. He wants to reinforce that point. He wants that Void Ray to be on the front lines.
Yeah, and to be fair, like Zest has 4 gates. He has 3 here at home. He has 1 across the map, so he's gonna have 4 gate production. Meanwhile, Trap, he just has that 1 Stargate out on the map and this 1 gateway.
Already we see quite a number of probes starting to go down for Zest. A lot of probes going down for Zest. A bit of a delayed reaction there. And the worst part is he doesn't even have a natural base here.
Yeah.
Oh, if this was... Zest has got to be kicking himself right now. If this was just... If only Trap didn't go for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just like that, 12 workers go down. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, there's nothing to contend against this Void Ray. So even though the damage is a lot slower, like, he's slowly racking up those worker kills. And now the Void Ray is going to depower the gateway.
There isn't any anti-air. This is the entire production here, at least when it comes to the defense here. For Trap,
he's still
trying to get something out of his own Void Ray. What are we looking at, Light? It's a Christmas miracle.
Exactly, like even though Trap has dealt all that economic damage, it doesn't even matter because the Void Rays in a head-on engagement, they're so much more valuable. GG!
My mouth is wide agape here, Light. I cannot believe what we've just witnessed. And there we have it. Zest takes it 3-1. I feel spoiled here, Light. This was just not your standard bracket whatsoever. This is not your standard ESL Open Cup whatsoever. We started things off with Ryungmyo Micah. We saw what Armani could pull off. We saw Trap Armani, and here we have Zest, Trap. Historically, both of them going back and forth. Trap usually just taking the upper hand. But yeah, now Zest fighting back, and what a series to fight back with too. Yeah, exactly. Like, again, we were talking about it, like when it comes to these early like proxy scenarios, like Zest, this is his like the element that he thrives in, and he just did so well here today in the finals. As we were saying earlier, like Trap has, like, historically he's favored against Zest, so much so where like it's insane. He's won 10 out of 12 best ofs this year, but Zest, he has fought back here. And at the end of 2020, he is victorious. He is victorious, at least until next week, as we do have one final ESL Open Cup, one final ESL Open Cup for each division coming out next week on the 28th of December. It just feels like this was the last, because again, Christmas is coming. Yeah, a lot of weekly tournaments are closing up. You know what? I may as well show it here on the screen, as our weekly schedule, it's usually filled to the brim, but it's looking pretty sparse this week, as again, our typical weeklies like Grand Platypus Open, Demi-C Weekly, Copa Hyperion, Battle of the Americas, they have all ended for 2020. They are all going on a bit of a break for the holidays, and
Yeah. We still got some StarCraft, but not as much this week.
Such an empty timetable.
I've never seen it this empty before. I've never seen it like this empty before. It looks so weird. I feel naked.
You get it covered.
Oh my god. But with that, I do want to ask you a question.
Yes.
I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here. So
I didn't study.
So something that we will be doing, because again, we've casted the majority of the ESL Open Cup Asias in 2020. We've thought about covering America. We've thought about it, and recently we have been hearing that there's been like a lack of English coverage for ESL the NA Cups. Are you okay with waking up in 8 hours and casting ESL NA tomorrow?
I wish you asked me that last week when my sleep schedule wasn't completely bonkers. God damn it. Well, what's an all-nighter?
No, don't pull it all. That's not the answer. That's not what I'm saying. Oh god. Regardless, we are looking into covering ESL Open Cup NA in 2021. Whether it's with a different casting duo. But yeah, it's something that we're looking into. Whether we cast it tomorrow, it's looking unlikely. Maybe if the stars align and we have the people, we'll try and do it. Something important to note is ESL Open Cup NA is a lot longer as well. It's like a 5-6 hour
signups there.
Yeah, the brackets are a lot larger. So it's a lot bigger of a commitment. So I mean, if you enjoyed our casting and if you want to see more of us, hit that follow button, follow us on social media to be updated for when we do go live, if we do decide to cover it tomorrow. Otherwise, we still have these events for the rest of the week.
Fingers crossed, everybody.
Fingers crossed.
Get Yoda on that.
But before we head off, Yakuzaku, why don't you tell the people who you are and where they can find more of you?
Well, I was born on a warm summer evening. It was, you can find me over at twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, potentially festive stream, no promises on that. Twitter.com @EmperorYakuzaku, ! Discord in the chat. Find myself as well as the other members of CranKy. And apart from that, buy my shirts. We're gonna find you,
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter as I !casters in the chat. You can follow me there if you wish. I do stream occasionally. I did do like a impromptu 1 hour ladder session before the cast today. So if you want to follow me there, you can. I typically stream some ladder. I play some Final Fantasy. I do some behind the scenes streams. But as I mentioned earlier, if you want to tune in to more CranKy Ducklings, then follow us on the social medias. CranKy Ducklings on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We are all over the place. If you want to support us, then you can go that extra step. You can subscribe to the channel, or you can check out our Patreon. Our Patreon is currently set up to support the tournaments that we run and to help grow them as well. Very Olima League-esque. And we do provide plenty of replay packs to our Patreons and to our subscribers as well. So if you're interested, then consider supporting us that way. It's been an incredible year for us. We've grown so much. 2020 was the first year that we really decided to go all in when it comes to casting professional StarCraft. We've been around for years. Yeah, thanks COVID, I guess. We've been around for years. We opened up and we started our channel in 2017. And since then, we've just been running amateur events and focusing on amateur StarCraft. But this year in 2020, we have delved into pro StarCraft and we've been casting 5 to 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week, 14 broadcasts, intense weeks, especially around DreamHack. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, hit that follow button.
And with that, we are going to be looking forward to I keep thinking 2021 is a week up from now. But stay tuned. Well, okay, I have two stay tunes. Well, for one, Saturday, Duckling Showdown is coming in. Stay tuned to twitter.com/cranky_ducklings for the announcement of who we're actually bringing on for our show matches. I know what they are. I'm not allowed to say what they are, but they are extremely hype, especially if you're, a big fan of Oceanic and Latin American StarCraft.
Exactly. Duckling Showdown, that's our end of year show matches that we're going to be running. We have confirmed our players internally that are going to be playing, that are going to be duking it out. We have yet to announce it, so stay tuned to our social media. It will be posted there. I'm sure it will be posted on Reddit as well. And with that, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be live on Thursday with Rey de las Razas, that is King of the Races. It's going to be a pretty special event run by La Espira. We'll see you then.
The answer to that is Night Elves, by the way.
Bye.
Bye.